Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noctastrum and this is Disco Elysium. So, please tell me the game saved. Actually, I think it did. Let's check out this church. What they talked about. I'm curious what can we find there. Ooh, what's this? Okay, it's at the end. Okay. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. The sign reads Saint Brune, 1147. Dusty pews in the shadow. Many seems to be missing. What is a pew? An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Oh, wait a minute. I can tell if I put on my flashlight. Okay, let's see this place.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Let's see the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Let's run my hand over it.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Let's check the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
Thank you, Kim. What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
And what is that?
For Revachol aussi, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
I agree it's very modern, but does the cheery guy not know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Let's peel it off.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger of the last entry where it belongs. Right on the cover. Yeah, on the cover.
Voila. Looks very modern. You're part of the Future Brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby.
Open the padlock.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you.
As you do, You hear the echo of the doomed commercial area, its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Whoa, this place. Can I see the sticker on it? No.
It's the letter you found in the trash. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. It's slight.
A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Okay. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. I mean, is it even carved? It looks like the wood is just falling apart. More of the four lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. I wanna save. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. I think I know who will be here. The missing guy.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. Sounds like the Pale.
How do I know what the pair sounds like?
From recordings of the far Pale. You've heard them. We all have. You can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Okay, stomping my feet and clapping didn't work. Let's yell.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's extraordinary. I never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
What if it's something supernatural?
Please, detective, not this again.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Let's see what's beyond the shadows.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
On the ceiling.
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Let's follow the shadow's movement.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Let's blink.
You
Oh,
see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
The bar is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it.
The shadow is a man. A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
Let's just say nothing.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
I did not see this coming.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Yes.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
I'm very in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
I just your type, who do you think you are? Some crazy guy on the roof? What is this shit? You know, alcohol is central to my identity. If I wouldn't drink, I just wouldn't be me. It's stupid, I don't even know what this is. That's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation. I feel like you have a point here.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He says gently on the... He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Okay. Then what are you?
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Wait, did you also carve all those sculptures?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
I see what you have done there. It's as if these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself. You got some nice curves going there. This seems derivative. You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies. Honestly, I don't get it. All these figures look half finished. My guess is this. Trying to be part of the church.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became crabman and woodcarver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
So many people losing their memory. A certain portent of doom. I lost my memory too, and it haunts me. Lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch. So you used to be in a gang, but you don't really remember it. Sounds convenient. Yeah, I like this new me.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry? No. My name sets me apart from my fellows. How often do you meet Raphael Ambrosius Costo? My name's Harry or Dubois, and my place in the world is Lieutenant Double something. Yeah, I'm Raphael Ambrosius Costo.
Don't think I met one yet, Holmes.
He studies you silently for a moment. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness.
He knows towards
This
the ceiling.
church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is one who can be painted or sculpted.
Okay.
She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Okay.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
That sounds concerning. Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't
I
understand what
know
you're...
it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
You should sing for me, the superstar cop. Point your thumbs at yourself.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
Okay. How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You have been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Do they have a reason to be scared or not?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore.
Okay. So what do you think about the nightclub that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go.
I did not see this coming. I thought he will be against it.
Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is Grandma?
Wait, so there's this another person living in the church, and it's Vieita.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is.
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you got nothing else to tell me. How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
Okay then, thanks. This guy was oddly reasonable. It seems like I can turn this place into a nightclub without any problem. A figure drawn in the frost of the window, depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. A spider has spun its web around this wood-cut pillar. Ooh, let's get this and this. I'm gonna put back these boots. We like they are better.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around this machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yeah, but this machine looks just like the one in the Doom commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Let me investigate, please.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory.
Oh,
Press play to talk with the repeater.
let's see.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Okay. Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the file just said log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Maybe. A password. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
My birthday, maybe.
Still, no.
Oh, well.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident, like the one in the Doom's camouflage.
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the Doom commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
Thanks, but I'm finished with this.
Sleep well, Fortress accident.
She says that her voice disappears into the world of
The
static.
machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play. Nothing happens.
Okay, printing nothing. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. A portable harmon. Wow, she tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Very likely, in fact. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning empty.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Had a guess.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Nah.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you, as if under a microscope.
Let's look up.
The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
Okay. It's compassion, I guess? Or, Yeah, let's have compassion, yeah.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
That's
Your
the thing.
fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
Yes. I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's called the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
You know of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials.
Interesting. That makes sense.
We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? A pang of guilt? The lieutenant is leaving something out.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
You're not sure, that's odd.
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Kim, are you a follower of Dolorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Dolorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Interesting. How did I know this is at the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence? I read a book, but it was fuzzy.
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
So a tyrant.
In a way, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built from the ground up to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this?
Where is this coming from?
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. No, you must know.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Okay, I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even faraway Supremawindi, altogether 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
So she was actually crowned.
In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but
What?
something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes.
Okay, this is just insane.
This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, was there something bad about her? I want to know.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her Theriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened there?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
The glowing lungs, that's fucked up. Why did we tolerate this bourgeois woman that long before we shot her? See, just looking around. She's beautiful, she's not human. Poor criminal. She's somehow connected to the case.
She's been dead for 300 years. I am almost 1,000% certain she isn't connected to the case.
He takes his glasses off to clean them. I like to tease him with these.
None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in.
Okay, let's see.
A jigsaw of
Nice.
broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who is the older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto, what does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Lieutenant, this used to say after life, death, after blah blah blah.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like this. Puts the fear of the god back in the. Oh my god. I like the other one better.
So do I.
Let's step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
Let's turn away.
The mother of...
Okay, can I find anything else? I don't think so.
Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
What?
You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
What? Win who back? I can't win her back. She's long dead, historical figure.
Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one.
Well, this is a task of mine now.
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
How can I give it back to
The
her?
mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and complex wax painting
Okay.
on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length of her body, her face oval and sad.
Looks like I can't give this figurine to her.
Why?
Because she's a stained glass window.
That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else?
Like what? Is that us still alone?
I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. The mother of humanism towers above.
I mean, do I still have... Dolores Day was fond of figures. She deserved more. You should offer her any and all you have one day, if you want to meet her in person. But not task to give yourself. But here we are. Yeah, I feel like I'm kinda crazy based on this task. But then again, everything what I was pulling off so far, crazy is not really far from the truth. Hey, Tiago, Crabman.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Have you by any chance heard something say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Yes.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety, of course. Nah, that would never work. Yeah, it's a first degree murder investigation with Martinez.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrow, but doesn't say anything.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of
Fuck.
that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it.
Okay, thank you very much.
I
This
think
was
we're
easy.
done here, essay.
The figure
That
close up
was
it.
an
Darkness above.
interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Oh, trust me, it will be relevant. Game, so far everything I did turned out to be right. Except when it didn't. But even then it was right,
The
so...
machine's keyboard is still the
Played.
speaker comes.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Rapid Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Yeah, let's try this again. I think I may have the right password for the personal log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Okay.
Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Ah, thanks. I'm all finished.
Sleep well, votre accident.
She says as her voice disappears into the world of
The
static.
machine's keyboard is. The
That's
printer
brilliant.
prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Let's read
The
it.
first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Let's read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving.
Let's see the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would you need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire, running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Let's see the fourth.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
That was my guess too. Let's see the 5th entry.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Okay.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks at his right towards the silence. Yes.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be? Look at the water basins behind you.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
She must be describing Akil.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into the radio computer. And the storekeeper must be Pleasance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Okay. Sona, the programmer. She's ignoring us.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We are here on a side case, representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Okay. That's a good idea. So, are you done?
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the whirring machine. I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It does not look like a big loss to her. Hey, are you the lead programmer of Viral Anti-Search by any chance?
Yes. Or no, not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
She turns back to the terminal.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Have you seen the Crabman?
No?
But you know he's around?
Yes.
He's seen you?
And?
And the Crabman has seen you?
I don't care. I don't care about crabmen.
She barely looks up, now tinkering with the machine printer.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
That's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the antenna is its processing unit.
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
I don't really know much about anything in this world, to be honest.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
What's on air?
On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
Like love.
And the AR1, is it a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Isn't your prefect radio computer made exclusively for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
And you work for the government?
No, I don't.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIN prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see REAM prefects in every police department, for example.
How did you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIN Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
Okay, what about those bars of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Okay.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Right, I'll try not to touch anything. Next question.
Great.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
She says ready to stand her ground. What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Hold on a moment. Does it mean we are now living in a world that has holes in it, measured by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which exists? I can't even understand how we are talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it. I don't know, I'm not here for some science, I just want to solve murder so I can go home. Collecting data on its surroundings.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence. To find out where it begins.
Ah, hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. It looks like some ancient ritual.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Does it have anything to do with ghosts?
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
What about the supernatural entities?
I don't believe in them either.
What not many know is necroplasma exists.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
She gets back to work, a clear signal that this branch of the conversation is over. Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
You said the research isn't going well, why not?
Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I wanted to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about melodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you even listened to it, like actually listened?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they?
She pulls a face that looks absolutely skating.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right. But how do you feel about a club for melodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got
Shit,
some
what's
news
up?
for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Then what do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
I mean... I'm still convinced they want to establish a nightclub for melodic dance music. They said it's their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Right, I'll let you work in peace now. Okay. This is great. I met everyone in the church. And this place was very intriguing. Did not expect that I found something. Inland Empire. Pain threshold. Okay. Anyway, that was all for this episode. Thank you for watching, and we will continue from here next time. We'll talk with the guys in the tent again. Bye.